This is Angie Andrews Eyesight, and I'm going to open your eyes to the mystery of numbers. I know that I talk a lot about the spiritual insight that numbers can give us, but I'm going to take some particular scriptures in depth and relate them to dating. And the reason being is because apps are just blowing up all over the place. You can now have a full-blown video or conversation with anybody on just about any app. Hence, if you just want to swipe right or you just want to swipe left and you're interested in somebody based on look, it's nothing less than cattle call. You're basically, that person looks interesting, and you're judging a book by its cover. I think that's pretty shallow. I won't ever get on dating sites, but that's great for you if you like to do those things. I just find it to be very confusing in this day and age. So that's the reason why I use numbers to go back to the baseline. Basically, I'm going to also relate it to what I've lived in my life, and those life experiences for all of us are pretty important. So if you came from cray-cray like I did, then that's kind of going to be your litmus test. So for me, I cannot really make a decision based on peace. I don't know that very well, but what I do trust is when my anxiety level is through the roof, that's time to put the brakes on. And that's mostly because I'm used to crisis. I can handle crisis all day long. I can sift out when a scenario is going to just blow up in someone's face, and I'm very comfortable in trying to settle the storm. However, if other people are telling me, oh, this person's intentions are really good, or just give it some time, that's where I'm going to start to rise up with, hot flesh to the skin surface. I'm going to be sweating bullets. I'm not going to be able to sleep. The insomnia is really going to break out. I might drink a little bit too much wine. So the reason for me is I've watched a lot of relationships blow up in people's faces because they're patient. Now, I don't have patience, but I'm trying to gain them. And when other people go months and months with, having haphazard texts, or maybe the guy they're talking to will respond to a text 3 days later, and it's like, where have you been for 3 days? And then there's all these types of things that are exciting going on in your daily routine, and you want to share them with a partner or share them with another person, and they're MIA. Yet that stuff just does not work for me. But the way that I bring it down to, should I be putting up with this? Should I be patiently enduring this type of partnership, this relationship, will come down to scriptures. And it's spiritual. You can make it, relatable to the stars in heaven if you need. But Daniel 2:22 says that he reveals deep and mysterious things. He knows what lies hidden in darkness, though he is surrounded by light. We'd be talking of God. I'm going to call God Jesus, but if that offends you, then call it something else, okay? Job 12:22. So I like the fact that 2:22, 12:22 speak to me, because I see those times on the clock both in the afternoon and in evening, because I stay up late. It's very similar. He uncovers mysteries hidden in darkness. He brings light to the deepest gloom. Okay, how many of us know that we can go to a place of gloom real quick over love matter? Love makes the heart sick, or it makes you feel like you're going to fly through the air. So with that capability, when you're seeing numbers, that can be a way that, it speaks to you personally. And it's going to be important. Like if a person likes butterflies, I happen to like them. So if I see a butterfly and having a down day, I know that that's God's way of reminding me, hey, I'm with you. You're not alone in these circumstances. And who wants to be alone when you're in a relationship? Some of you probably feel that way. You'd be better off being by yourself, because nobody wants to have just a warm body sitting next to them. That does nobody a service. Okay, so the next one, Deuteronomy 28:14. When you have 28, you get the number 14. Not going to get too technical, but it says you must not turn away from any of the commands I'm giving you today, not to the left or to the right, nor follow after other gods and worship them. And this was quoted to me many times when I was working with some inner city churches. They would mandate that people come to their church. And the quickest death to any relationship, whether it's a big congregation of people where you're all intertwining and fellowshipping, or it's a one-on-one, the biggest death is making that participation mandatory. So if you basically have to put out there to somebody that they need to be giving you more time, that's going to push them further away. Because why? Nobody wants to be told what to do. Nobody wants to be controlled. But if you naturally and instinctively choose to be with that person, you're lining up with the love that is being cultivated between the two of you. So that's not really idolatry. That's like you're forming and establishing a foundation, which is what God wants with all of us, but it's definitely what we want in a partner. So if we're like, dude, you're not spending enough time with me and I don't even know where you're at half the time, and I'm getting upset about it, then, you know, they can manipulate it, they could twist it all around, and then you get to fall back on 1222 that says, wait a minute, some of the things you're saying are kind of like dark and mysterious. And I know that my God is going to shed light. And if I'm feeling this much angst, I'm going to need more of that light. It's okay, you know what? You take that time. You take your space, and you be as ambivalent and aloof as you need to be. But then I'm going to sow more time into me, because it's not really attractive. If I'm looking to build something with you, I've got numbers all over the place, and they're speaking to me all day long. And the angst I'm with you is just rising. I'm gonna have to simmer that down just a bit. That's usually the litmus test that I use. So this is the best one. When we see numbers that are increasing in increment. So for Luke 12:34, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That literally means stepping stones. It says, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Okay, so I don't have time to waste. When we think about it, like we're investing in a relationship with somebody that we want to understand deeper. Every single one of us wants to be loved and accepted. We want to be known. That is what intimacy means. It means into me see. So therefore, if this person is just scattered all over the place, look up some numbers. What's a number that you see all the time? Look up its meaning. Allow it to speak to you. Allow it to confirm for you, I don't really know. I want to believe in something that's bigger and better, but the patterns are playing out, and they're not really proving that I can trust this new scenario. And for someone like me, peace isn't really to be trusted. I would love it to be. That's still a prayer of mine. But when it's this hyped up, when it's like, oh my gosh, I can't be making someone, the pursuit of a partner, my idol, because all of a sudden God's on the back burner. And then you can make the idol of looking at the numbers in the first place, where I need this number to direct my steps. I need this number, and it's going to tell me what to do. But when you literally have that angst, if it's for you, you lose your peace. If it's for you, too many people are telling you that this guy's great, but you're like, I don't know about that. Would you put up with this? I don't know. Like, does your man make you feel like you're number one? Does your man see you as walking into the room and lighting it up? Are you excited when you see him and when he sees you? I mean, the best relationships I know from my friends that I've witnessed is their husbands or their man adores them. If you can't wait for someone to adore you, then that is a patience issue. I'm right there with you. I have it. But now I'm surrendering everything to like, trust the vibes, trust the angst, trust whatever it is that you're getting deep in your gut. Because you know what? If you don't like the feeling that you have when you leave this person's presence, then count down. Count backwards from 10 to 1 and see how long it takes you to stay in a place of calm where you're responding instead of reacting. And how often do you need to do that? You can just make that your baseline litmus test. So if you're always having to consider, wow, I really put a lot of emphasis and excitement on seeing this person, it could be off kilter. You could be really making that an idol when you're really good enough by yourself. And the number one is the best place to start anyway.